Good morning, English 1 honor students. This is Miss Strawn. Today is October 6th, and your objective is to respond to a characterization prompt with relevant embedded text evidence and commentary. Okay, so you are viewing the Learn It portion of the lesson today. Learn It lesson overview about how to respond to a literary analysis prompt. And I'll give you two methods that you can use, or mnemonic devices, to help you remember the parts that you need. For Prove It today, you'll actually respond to a literary analysis question about a character in To Kill a Mockingbird in the Prove It literary analysis response Schoology assessment. And then to continue on with To Kill a Mockingbird, read and annotate chapters 15 and 16. And don't forget that you can be working on your dialectical journal entries ongoing. You need a total of 10. I think it's October 16th when those are due. I won't always remember exactly, so you'll need to go back and look at your original guides. For example, for the reading, I know you have a lot going on too, but I have, you have one English class. I have 24 English classes, if that makes sense. So please help me out by you checking the reading list. So you would have to look at the bookmark, and definitely let me know if I've messed up on what I've written down. But when all's said and done, make sure that you're following the reading check that's been posted. I'm not feeling well today, so I'm working from home. I may not be as available to respond to your questions, but I'll definitely be here if there's, something very important that you need. So let's take a look again at how we want to set up our literary responses, or really any responses, no matter whether we're talking about a literary text or we're talking about a nonfiction text. Okay, so one way to answer, to make sure that you have all portions of the question explained, is to use APE. There's a image of that right here, and that's a mnemonic device for answer the question that's being asked. And I would say answer that question in a complete sentence to go further on that. Prove your response by using embedded text evidence. And embedded means that you have positioned that text information, that quotation, just the most relevant parts of that quotation. You're not taking just a huge chunk of text. You're taking the portions of the text that make the most sense, that are the most relevant to your answer, and you are putting them within your own sentence structure. I'll show you an example in a moment. And then the last portion is explanation or commentary. So if you look at the image here, it helps you kind of think about it the same way. And this is more simplistic, I'm sure, than what most of you can actually do, but it is a good way to get started. So use words from the question to help you answer it. So if it says, what is the name of the character that da 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 da, you can say the name of the character is, and that's a simplistic question. But proof from the text. So you can say the author wrote on page such and such, or in the text, Jim says. So that's evidence to support your idea. You would start it out that way. So you start with your own words. Notice that with the evidence. You start with your own words to introduce what's being said. So if it's from a literary text, you're going to give the context, like who's speaking, what's happening. And then you extend or make an opinion connection. We call that commentary, and explain your thinking about why you chose that particular quotation to answer the question. Okay? So, I have a couple of word choices that can help you get started on that. I will tell you that some of this word choice here is not the most sophisticated, but it is good initially when you're not really sure how to explain or extend your answer. Or if you're more familiar with like a paragraph format, we've been talking a bit about this when we wrote our expository essays. it's basically a mini paragraph. You have a topic sentence that states your point. Then you have a concrete detail, which is a specific example. And in our case, since we're talking about literary analysis, it would be embedded textual evidence, and then at least 2 sentences of commentary or analysis or interpretation of that text evidence. The good rule of thumb is that for every one part, this is a math problem here, for every 1 part text evidence, you're going to have 2 parts commentary. So, or explanation or analysis. So there always should be more of your original words than there are of the author or the text words. Okay, it's going to take you longer and more time to explain your thinking on that. Okay, so here's an example from a literary text. This is a question about theme, and it's for the Scarlet Ibis. So notice what's in red here is the answer to the question. So the question was, how does the author develop the theme that both love and cruelty are driving forces within humanity? So first thing you're going to do is answer to the question through the narrator's actions and descriptions. James Hurst suggests that the contradictory emotions of love and cruelty simultaneously reside within mankind. Okay, so notice that these words are slightly different, but it's the same thing. So they've made their statement, their answer. Then you see the green here? This is your words that come before the quote, so that you can embed the quote, which is the blue part, into your own sentence. So the green is the writer's words, like the student's words, and the blue part is the actual text. So the pink part is the explanation or the commentary about that thinking. Okay, so proof is in blue. Then we don't forget the internal documentation, the author's last name and page number where you have it. Okay, so I'll read this answer. I want you to notice how we have the green words, which are my words, and then I have embedded the text evidence into my sentence, so it just flows together. In the story, Brother describes his efforts to escape the, quote, burden of Doodle's company and, quote, discourage his coming with him. You'll see those brackets. So I made that fit by replacing the word to him, so it would flow into my sentence. He details recklessly careening him around corners on 2 wheels and accidentally turning him over. All right, put my citation. Brother's actions seem to reveal a singular dislike for being Doodle's caretaker. All right, that's my comment based on what he did here. However, even as Brother cruelly shuns Doodle's brotherly love, he chooses to, quote, share with Doodle the only beauty he knows, Old Woman Swamp. Then I have my citation. In this moment, Brother's actions to introduce Doodle to his special place reveal tender feelings and affection for Doodle. Throughout the story, Brother's conflicting actions and thoughts toward Doodle demonstrate humanity's dual ability to respond with both compassion and abuse. I'm explaining my thoughts here. I think I could have done with one more sentence of commentary up here, but all in all, this is a pretty good representation. So I have my answer to the question using some words from, or using my guidance from this question to help me come up with a complete sentence that responds to it, and then I'm going to prove it with textual evidence, not forgetting my citation, and definitely not forgetting my explanation or my commentary. Okay, so that's what you need to do today on your Schoology response, and make sure you're using actual textual evidence. The question that you have is about characterization, which I know that you can do, but there are so many answers that could be right, because a really good literary analysis question allows you to make inferences on your own. Okay? All right, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.